His fieldwork took him deep into the jungles, 12, 14-hour bus rides from the cities. So not only did I get to see the bustling metropolitan area of China, but I also got to see the primitive villages littered throughout the countryside. I saw how much people were struggling. Everywhere I would go to in China and Burma, there's orphans begging for money at the bus stop. There are starving people on the street. There are people with genetic mutations that we can't even fathom here in America, just laying on the sidewalk. There is misery and sorrow and destitute everywhere. I saw what real problems look like, what real struggle looks like. In America, there are no starving children. There's government assistant food stamps. There's free lunch programs at school. There are food banks everywhere. And worst case scenario, Child Protective Services will come and take that kid if the parent cannot feed them. In China, in Burma, in the rest of the third world, there are starving orphans everywhere. Anyway, this granted me a foundational perspective that to this day keeps me optimistic and happy and joyful every day that I wake up, because I understand how lucky I am to be born in the greatest country ever. I understood no matter what hardship I faced in life, it was always better than the alternative. No matter how hard things got, I was lucky. And that kind of optimism and perspective led me to be a successful entrepreneur, because every time I failed, every time there was a setback, I took it in stride with a smile on my face, because I had perspective. No problem is ever that serious. I lived a comfortable middle-class life up until the point I was about 13. Then my family went through an incredibly rough time financially. We moved from a nice big house to 5 people living in a 700 square foot, 2-bed, 1-bathroom house. And this moment was also fundamental in my development, because it granted me a perspective that I didn't have, which was a hard life. Seeing my parents stress like I'd never had, and knowing exactly why I wanted to work hard to improve my circumstances, to never be back at that point again. But I didn't give up. I didn't sulk. Coincidentally, this coincides with right when I started my first venture, the video game commentaries. It inspired me to dig deep, get creative, find solutions. And even though my life got objectively harder, the luxuries that I was used to went away, I didn't complain, because I had the perspective from those trips with my grandparents about, even though it's bad now, there is a whole other level of worse that it could be. So my entire entrepreneurial journey starts at objectively the lowest point in my life, leading to my belief that even if you're down and out, even if you don't have an abundance of monetary resources, if you have grit, if you have persistence, if you have belief in yourself, if you have resourcefulness, you can be successful, and nobody can tell me otherwise.